Eskimo-Aleut languages. Unique polysynthetic beauties. They're like the jackfruit of language families. Exotic, complex, weird, but not the weirdest thing ever. Something that differs between the two, though, is that the evolution of one of them is actually interesting. I'll let you decide which one that is. So a long time ago, the Proto-Eskimo-Aleut people migrated to North America via the Bering Land Bridge. They eventually broke up into a few different language families, Yupik, Inuit, and Aleut, which I'm pretty sure is just one language. Now, it's debated whether or not Inuit is a single dialect continuum or a language family, but I digress. This language family is the inspiration for my entry for Agma Schwa's Cursed Conlang Circus of 2023. So, without further ado, I present to you Inqau. First, some classification. See, classifying this language within anything more narrow than Eskimo-Aleut is difficult. This is mainly due to two reasons. Reason one, where it's spoken. Inuit is spoken here, Yupik is spoken here, and Aleut is spoken here. But Inqau is spoken here. And reason two, shared vocabulary. Inqau shares most of its vocabulary with Inuinnaqtun, Inupiaq, and Inuktitut, which are all Inuit, when you'd think it would have more in common with Greenlandic. The prevailing theory is that before Eskimo-Aleut languages broke up, people went there not this way, but this way. And then with the isolation, the languages diverged, which put this language right here in the Eskimo-Aleut family tree, right next to Inuit. Now about the language itself. Inqau's consonants are p, b, p, b, t, tia, d, k, g, k, ga, ts, f, hua, sh, zh, s, z, h, y, sh, h, r, h, r, h, r, y, l, m, n, nia. And and its vowels are I, U, U, A. Now there are like very few phonotactics. Any phonotactics I can find are shown here. Like, it doesn't even have a maximum syllable structure. There's also no way of telling where the stress would fall in any given word. Instead, syllables are determined based on the etymologies of different words. More on that later. Now let's talk about syntax.
And this is where I put it.
Syntax.
If I had one!
Okay, well I guess that isn't completely correct. The basic word order is
O.
It's an ergative absolutive language. And that's basically it for the syntax. This'll all make sense soon, I promise.
Inqau has 9 aspects, 6 modes, 7 sub-aspects, and 7 sub-modes.
Which mix and match to form different verb conjugations like a giant times table within a times table.
It also has 4 tenses, which are pretty normal until you see the all-time at once tense, which is kinda like the habitual aspect, except these two can be paired together to make a used to do something and still do it for an indefinite amount of time. But the doing is complete. You know, to be honest, I don't even understand it. Think of those aliens from that one sci-fi movie who experience time all at once? It's like that.
It also has 16 cases, which can stack on top of each other to form a theoretically infinite number of specifications.
And there are 0 affixes to mark any of this. Instead, tense is shown with tone, and there is a different morpheme for every, and I mean every, combination. Not only that, these morphemes convey whole sentences. For example, which
is one morpheme, means, on the contrary, I think that this rugged mountain range may trail off at some point.
This system of having so many morphemes to the point that any sentence can be said in one is what I like to call pansynthesis, which looks at the idea of what Inqau is designed for at a slightly different angle. Instead of making words with affixes that hold a lot of meaning, the words are already made and hold even more meaning.
However, this word is technically ungrammatical because it isn't marked with one of Inqau's animacy ranks, which work by each rank having an inherent amount of animacy, which can be represented as points, and the inanimate and animate classifiers taking away and adding half a point. These points aren't too important to Inqau, and mostly serve as indicators for importance in a sentence. However, it is important to note that the more points a word has, the later it is said in the sentence. Also, rugged, wherever that may be in this fusional mess, isn't marked with an adjective. Mode? Case? Well, adjectives are marked with these things which modify the meaning of the adjectives, like a verb mode or a noun case. Another thing, tones in Inqau are also used to show the number of a noun and whether it's being possessed or not. For example, in this word, hatu, which means my language, the last syllable would take a nasalized high-level tone, because language is singular and being possessed. Unless you want it to be plural, which in that case it would take a nasalized mid-falling tone, and so on and so forth. The orthography is just a modified Cyrillic alphabet, which, as you can see, has symbols for the sounds unique to Inqau, such as the Schwa, za, and ah. It was adopted pretty recently in 2015, and is there pretty much just as a formality, and almost every native Inqau speaker knows it, but hardly ever uses it. Why? Because nobody needs to write anything down. It's just not really that important in Hatin culture. But they keep it because it's a useful thing to have for a language. There's even a book written completely in Inqau, which has found great popularity in communities like the HIS and ILPO. Oh, and one more thing that is required for this entry. Thực hoặc ôi na kana chua huat. Hat Q nai ma. U sai mawana payuk kana.